Okay, I'm discussing She's Beautiful When She's Angry, the documentary that was extremely captivating and very informative. This documentary talks about women and the empowerment of women, feminist movements, the struggles women had in the early 90s, the outbreak from being, unvoiced and not having opinions to collaborating together and coming together as a whole unity to strive for women's rights and women, just promoting women positively. When I watched the documentary, something that stuck out to me was the discussion about salary discrepancy and how it's an issue that we're still dealing with today. But in the early 1900s, when women did finally have the right to work and to vote and to go to school, they were obviously not paid the same amount as men were, even though they were obtaining degrees that were of equal or better value. In the documentary, it talked about how this was very upsetting. There were women who had PhD degrees, master degrees, all of these degrees that they had worked so hard for, and they were going into the fields working with men and not getting paid, not even half of what men were getting paid. It upset women so much that they actually grabbed their diplomas and all of their documentation and burned them in front of newscasts, in front of big organizations, just to protest the fact that it's not right that women aren't getting half of what men are getting, and they are achieving goals and striving for educational and academic stances just as well as men are. And the documentary just talks about how that was it still is to this day. It's 2024 and we still have situations where women are getting underpaid for doing the exact same jobs that men are doing, sometimes even better, and we still aren't giving them the same wages. So it's definitely still a struggle that all women are dealing with. Also, another really interesting activity or movement that stuck out to me was the oogling effect. So basically, women would go out into the streets in Wall Street, where obviously there were dominantly male participants on Wall Street, and they would walk up and down Wall Streets with signs and catcall. Well, I guess it wouldn't be catcalling because men aren't women, but just being inappropriate and just saying things that men usually say to women when they're walking across, like, hey, hot stuff, or I like those, I like how that suit looks on you, or just, saying things that men usually would say to women and letting them feel the effects that it has. And a lot of men weren't happy with that and didn't like it at all, but it was the reality that women were dealing with, not only prejudices with salaries, but also just being in the field with men. The documentary talked about how there was one woman who worked on Wall Street, and every day that she would leave, she would get harassed and talked to illfully and just catcalled every second, and she, didn't feel safe coming to and from work, and just how disappointing that is that the men made it a point to make her feel uncomfortable so she wouldn't want to work there. So the oogling effect definitely just brought perspective, and it was recorded for other people to see, and it really stuck out. Like, these big movements are what really helped these women initiate feminism and initiate these organizations. I found the documentary to be very interesting. There was a lot of new information that I didn't know about the past, about how women have really just evolved so much over the last 50 years and how we still are struggling to even have that equal lateral that men have as well. And then there's subcategories about, black women, women who were lesbian, just so many struggles that women had to go through and still go through. And it's just, documentaries like this bring perspective for women today and bring inspiration that we can keep on striving towards feminism and making this world a better place for women.